It started as an ordinary day. Social media buzzed with transfer rumors, pundits argued over stats, fans shared matchday memories. It was the rhythm of the game we all knew and loved. But then, without warning, that rhythm was broken. Diogo Jota was dead. A single headline changed everything. It didn't feel real at first. It couldn't be. Not him. Not the agile forward with fire in his boots and purpose in his eyes. Not the player who could change a game in a blink, whose feet danced between defenders like they weren't even there. But confirmation came quickly. Official statements, tributes from clubs, faces of teammates turned pale on camera, and the world stood still. Across Portugal, an eerie hush swept over towns and cities. In Liverpool, fans gathered at Anfield in disbelief. They didn't speak much. There weren't enough words. Just sorrow, shared in silence. The air was heavy, almost sacred. Flowers, scarves, candles, and jerseys began to pile along the stadium gates. Some wrote messages. Others knelt and prayed. Grown men wept openly. Children clutched posters of their hero. Jota wasn't just another name on a team sheet. He was a testament to persistence, to rise, to staying humble when the world applauds you, and staying driven when it doesn't. He didn't shout. He didn't seek fame. He just played, brilliantly, fiercely, selflessly. From his early days in Massarelos, Porto, where he trained tirelessly on cracked pavements and uneven fields, to conquering England and Europe with quiet, ruthless brilliance, his journey was every young footballer's dream. He had played for fans, for family, for country. He had bled for his badge, and every time he took the pitch, he did it like it could be his last. Now it had been. The funeral was held days later, but grief had already settled in before the casket even arrived. The church was packed beyond capacity. Outside, giant screens showed fans from around the world, thousands upon thousands, tuned in, mourning a man most had never even met, yet felt like they knew. The rain didn't stop that day. It fell softly, persistently, like the sky was crying too. The coffin arrived in silence, draped with the Portuguese flag and Liverpool red. 6 pallbearers, former teammates, closest friends, carried it slowly through the aisle. Every step was heavy, not just from the weight, but from the reality. He was really gone. Jurgen Klopp sat in the front pew, his hands clenched, his jaw tight, his eyes red. This wasn't just the loss of a player, it was the loss of a son. Cristiano Ronaldo, dignified and somber, offered comfort to Jota's father with a brief, heartfelt embrace. Mohamed Salah, ever composed on the field, looked utterly lost, wiping his face with a trembling hand. Ruben Neves, his former Wolves teammate, couldn't even bring himself to speak. And then came the moment that undid everyone. A young boy, no older than 9 or 10, walked up to the casket alone. He wore a Liverpool shirt with Jota 20 on the back. He carried nothing but a small, folded piece of paper. With trembling hands, he placed it on the wooden lid, leaned in, and whispered, "You made me believe someone like me could be great too." The room collapsed into sobs. Because that wasn't just a fan speaking, it was a truth. Jota had become a symbol. For underdogs. For the quiet ones. For those who worked in the shadows until the spotlight found them. His greatest legacy wasn't just the goals, though there were many. It wasn't the trophies, though they sparkled. It was the inspiration. The quiet revolution he led in the hearts of dreamers across the world. As the casket was lowered, a choir sang softly. Outside, the crowd took over. One voice at first, then 10, then hundreds. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. It echoed through the hills, through the streets, through nations, and you could feel it. This wasn't the end, because Diogo Jota left something behind that death couldn't touch. A spirit, a standard, a spark. He lives in the hearts of every fan who watches football not for the money or fame, but for the love of the game. He lives in the eyes of every kid who trains in the rain, dreams in silence, and plays like the world is watching, even when it isn't. He lives in highlight reels, in chants, in memories that will be passed down through generations. We lost a footballer. We lost a friend we never met. We lost a dreamer who dared and delivered. But legends like Jota don't disappear. They live on. Rest well, Diogo. You lit the world with your feet. Now, you light the sky with your soul.